The third source that I researched was an article by Dr. Zuleika Zavalos, which talks about gender exclusion in the workplace, which is basically a form of gender discrimination. In the beginning of the article, the author introduces an international survey by Barbara Annis, which surveyed 240,000 workers and concluded that women feel professional exclusion in the workplace. This serves as the basis of the article, as she makes many references back to the survey. So, the first component of the article is examining social privileges between men and women in the workplace, and her means of doing this is defining social privileges as systematically benefiting the dominant group, which in this case would be males. So, therefore, in the workplace, males will overlook the inequalities that exist and may not even realize that they exist because they are in the dominant group. This means that males, therefore, have a male privilege. While it's not one of the specific solutions that the author gives, she does recommend that proper education be given to women about these issues, because if women are aware of the issues, they will feel an entitlement to equality, and if they aren't aware of the issues, then they won't even be able to identify them. And if they can't identify them, then they're definitely not going to speak up about them. So she gives one solution with a couple parts to it, and that solution is to have active and ongoing management. And the first part to that is just simply having equity and diversity training for all managers as conditions of employment. And the second part would be to have routine surveys, interviews for research, mediation, or other organizational evaluations. And there's really an emphasis on routine because gender exclusion is a problem that's more complex than what can be visually observed. While the author only gives one solution for gender exclusion, it's a little bit of a lengthy one, so there are many strengths and weaknesses that can be found within it. One of the strengths of her solution is the fact that she includes a multitude of different studies to support the problem, so the reader knows that the problem is very real. But aside from that, these studies represent the social science that she talks about in her solution, so they're direct examples of the kind of work that she wants to see. And aside from that, these studies have links within the article that the reader can click on and observe to get a better understanding of the studies. Another strength of her solution is the way that she addresses both ends of the work spectrum in regard low-skilled positions for women versus high-skilled positions for women. And she says that women who have high-skilled positions are more likely to be unhappy because they have a high expectation of professional fulfillment. One possible weakness of the article is the organization of it. I mean, it is a complex issue and it's a complex solution that she gives, but if you were just going to try to skim through the article, you wouldn't be able to figure out what it's about or what her solution is. You would have to read the entire thing top to bottom to even be able to synthesize it. The main influence of this author's article is definitely the Barbara Annis survey, because it introduces the article with that study, and the author makes many references to it throughout the article.